Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar on taking a pack and send in SigmaNEST. Your first question might be, why would we take a pack and send? Well, it will help the support team to troubleshoot your issues, and it allows you to email in to start a case, potentially, as opposed to calling in. It helps us to troubleshoot issues that might take longer than a single call to resolve. And it can also help us in backing up data, such as taking copies of our post, our INI settings, database tables, and some other things. So what exactly does a pack and send do? It takes a snapshot of your workspace and settings and zips them up into a single file to make it easy to transfer. It's for the purpose of recreating your environment in our side so that we can troubleshoot things with the same information. And it's also customizable to select only what information we need to copy. So how do we take a pack and send? Well, under the Tools Help tab, we get the option for pack and send here. We'll select that and it'll bring up a menu. In this window, it shows you a history of all the pack and sends which have been taken on this machine, and it allows you to manage them. Here, we'll want to take the drop down under Create New Profile Package and select Advanced Profile Packages. Here, we'll want to give our pack and send a name. For instance, I will use demo, but I would suggest putting a description of problem or issue that you're facing here, and then leaving your company information and the date also in this so that we can have the most information possible about your issue. You'll want to select current workspace, INI files, and post files, as this is usually the default, and in most situations, that's all that you're going to need to include for us to recreate the issue. If you have tooling in SigmaNEST, such as punch machines, drill machines, or routers, you will need to include the tool and die tables here in your selections for us to recreate it on our side. If your issue is related to a particular area of the software, like part files, import desktops, reports, special or custom tools, or wall files, you should include those relevant parts. So you can select each of the relevant parts here and include them in the pack and send. The more you include, the bigger the file will be. The email limit is typically 25 megabytes, and if we're just including our default information here, it very rarely goes over that amount, as these are all just text information. But if you start to include some of the database tables and other bits and pieces here, it can go over that amount. If it does, we can connect over a TeamViewer session and collect the pack and send that way. Or there are several other file transfer mediums that might be possible depending on your situation. So once we've selected our information and given it a good name, we'll go click Create New Profile Packages. This may take a moment depending on how much information it has to zip together. Once it's done, the pack and send we've just created will appear in the list of pack and sends. Here we go. If we click the date heading a couple of times, it'll bring up the most recent one that we've created, and you can see the one that says demo at the front there is the one that I just made. From here, we have a few options, and you can right-click on the selection to bring up those options. Usually I find it easiest to select the open file location, and that will just open a Windows file folder which has the zip file in it, and we can then manage it as we need from here. We just take this file and copy it into an email or do whatever else we need to do with it. Here we can also select open profile packages, which will allow us to reopen a package that we've saved in the past. And then we can also use the email profile packages option. If we use that, it will bring up an email in your default email software. For me, that's Outlook, and it may be similar in your organization or perhaps different. but it will automatically bring up an email and address it to support@sigmanest.com. If you pull the zip file out on your own, you'll also want to address it to support@sigmanest.com unless you're working with a particular engineer. They may have a specific email for you. And here it is very important to put in information about your problem so that we can recreate it and understand what we're seeing when we open it up. It also helps keep track of things. So whatever information that you can add in here to make it more easy to understand, that is appreciated on all ends. And then you just send it over to support or any other way that we've figured out to get that information to us. If you haven't started a case, just sending it to support@sigmanest.com will get one started for you, and then we'll continue to correspond with you that way. And that's really all there is to it. So it was a bit of a short one today, a little bit short and sweet, but it is a feature that can save everyone involved some time and effort, so it's worth considering. Thank you for listening to our webinar today, or if you are watching this in the future, thanks for tuning in, and thank you also for choosing SigmaNEST. Have a good day.
All right, I would like to thank Robert for giving us such a wonderful webinar. Hopefully this comes in handy for you guys in the future if you have any issues that you need to send to support. So before we end the webinar here, I'd like to take a moment to talk to you about the webinars that we have coming up. We currently have 2 up that you can register for at any time. One is about Advanced Part Handler, and it is on February 10th. That is a Wednesday. It'll be at 1 p.m. All of our webinars are on a Wednesday at 1 p.m. And then we also have one on February 24th for conditional tabbing. We'll also have our webinar schedule set for March once we get into February. So feel free to keep checking back with us to see those webinars as they come in. And once we have those listed, we will be announcing them in the future webinars as well. So like I said before, this is a recorded webinar. So if you'd like to view this recording later, it'll be posted on our Connect website. It'll also be sent to the email that you registered for the webinar with. So you can feel free to look at it, share it with a colleague, save it for yourself for later for when you do need to send a pack and send. Once we close out of the webinar, you will be getting a little quiz to see how we did. If you have any topics that you would like us to talk about, we are again scheduling those March webinars here soon. If you have any topics you'd like to see, we'd love to hear them. We create this content for you guys, so if you guys have content you want to see or reviews on the content we've created for you, what else you would like added into it, things like that, please let us know, because we create this content for you guys. If you don't tell us what you want, we can't get better at it. So I want to thank you all again for spending the time with us, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we hope to see you again on February 10th for the Advanced Part Handler webinar. Thank you.